Beep, 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 beep. Spring. 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 Beep, 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 beep. Chester. How are you? I think it's spring. What's going on? Look, a bit springy in it. I like that. Yeah. Hello. How are you? I know I said I'm going to do one, but I've had messages overnight. And, there's glorious stuff going down. But before we do that, let's just give it up for JJ. Now, those of you who are not familiar with this little tale of woe will know that some time back, this rather strange young man, right, called JJ, calls himself JJ Wales, right? JJ Wales, that's his name. Joseph James 94, at Joseph James 94, that's his Twitter handle, right? Essentially called JK a Nazi, Joanne, Joanne Rowling a Nazi. And it's really a rather nasty piece of work. You only have to look and see what he says. It's a nasty piece of work, right? And, but it's glorious, who should I pick on today? A billionaire with good lawyers. What a tosser, right? So obviously he thought he was going to have a go at her, and he, all sorts of stuff about you being a Nazi and the usual stuff that these mad TQ plus nutters spit at people, right? And I tell you now, it's no coincidence that the guy works in the theatre, because that's the most captured place where, the theatre and the arts is the most captured of all of it. But it's obvious that something has happened to put a particular fly in his ointment, right? Because he's had to go, I'm so sorry, please accept my apology, right? So he's tried to apologise. And it's just the worst apology in history, right? So I'll read it. God almighty, there's an egg on his smug little face, right? Okay, so I would like to publicly apologise for a previous Twitter thread where I interacted with J.K. Rowling on matters relating to the transgender community. You can see somebody's going, write it, you little shit, just write it, otherwise you will just write it. I don't want to do it. Just write it or it's curtains for you, drama boy. I have now removed these tweets and would like to apologise to J.K. Rowling directly for causing potential upset. See? It's not an apology, really. It's just like, the kid that's been spanked, sent to its bedroom, and then... You all right? You all right? You sorry now? Are you sorry now? Would you say you're sorry? All right, I'm sorry. I have now removed these tweets and would like to apologise to J.K. Rowling directly for causing potential upset. I failed to choose my words with care, right? I didn't engage the brain I don't have. And would like to retract my previous statements relating to reviews on the LGBTQ plus and more specifically transgender people. Why? Relating to reviews on the LGBTQ plus. What is the LGBTQ plus then, JJA? Other than a bunch of lunatic ideologues. And more specifically, transgender people, right? I would also like to retract my likening to J.K. Rowling to any far-right or Nazi organisation. It's okay, Joanne, right? You're not a member, right? To any far-right or Nazi organisation, emphasise I do not wish any individual, inclusive of J.K. Rowling, to come to any harm. But any individual, including J.K. Rowling. You tosser, right? And then you get the glorious situation where his sycophants. He's got a sycophant base. I can't, this is too good. Right? Bless you, JJ. Stay strong. We're all here for you, right? And then Whittle comes in. Steve, one of the architects of all this crap, she comes in, right? Sometimes it is far better to run away and fight another day. Really? Okay, right, run away. You haven't run away. On here, we mostly strangers to each other. But I feel like many of us have felt a kinship with you. Like many, I send you my love and respect. He respects, she respects, right? A bloke who likes to throw around insults and compare women to Nazis. That's Professor Stephen Whittle. bless her, right? And next on the list of people that responded, we have Windy and Bouillabaisse. We understand, JJ. Lots of love. All know what's going on. Do you? Do you know? You absolute idiot bloke. And then somebody's put underneath, and this is how it will start, innit? This is how they'll turn on it, okay? This is a really weird set of tweets. Are you implying that J.K. Rowling isn't transphobic? Or are you implying you were wrong for defending trans people? Okay, that's... You're done, JJ. This is what happens. It's just genius. You know, it's like some kind of cease and desist order. You know what we need? We need a fund so that people can pay, find a solicitor and say, look, just do these and we'll pay you 25 quid for each one. And they'll do 6 an hour or whatever. And we've got a fund that pays for it. That's what we need. So we just pick people and go, right, do him next. Do her next. So they get solicitors' letters that tells them to bog off, right? How bloody glorious is that? Absolutely glorious. So that's the first glorious thing. The second glorious thing is what's happened in the NHS in Scotland since the debacle, where Virgin Sturgeon couldn't tell the difference between a cock and a fatty, right? Okay. So here we go, right? This is a situation in Scotland currently at the NHS. This is glorious. You may recall that one of these boondoggles, these money-making scams, where they've obviously got somebody in to make some money somewhere, they had thousands upon thousands of NHS badges made, right? Okay, which have got like the rainbow flag, but that horrible chevron, you know, white men pretending to be women using black people to screw over gays. That, you know, the chevron. It's got, they call it the progress flag. It's not progress at all. Progress. Called the progress flag, right? So they made thousands of these damn things, and they ordered them for Scottish NHS staff after they'd forced them to sign a fealty statement on pain of excommunication, right? So if you don't sign this saying that you'll support everything about trans, then, you know, LGBTQ and bumps daisy, then essentially we're going to send you to Coventry and eventually use your job, right? So they threatened NHS staff. That's what happened, I think. Do you think that's what happened? I think so. And we can postulate that, can't we? We can say, is that what happened? Is it? And then they all went, that's good. Now you'll get your little badge. You know, like they're in the Cubs. Do you know what I mean? We're going to get your badge. You've hollowed out a, you know, crow. We're going to get you your money. Going to get you a badge. Well, what did you do at Scouts? I hollowed out a crow. So they've got these NHS badges, which are just vile. They're awful because they've got that progress nonsense on it. And apparently there's thousands upon thousands of them sitting in a drawer. They had to signify that they were an ally to progress. This is real nasty stuff, isn't it? Senior NHS staff spent months designing the scheme. I could have done it in 5 minutes with one glass of wine. And they were in consultation with lobby group Stonewall. What a surprise. With the SNP government spending more than £33,000 on an initial order of badges, 33 grand on a bunch of badges. On a bunch of badges for an extreme homophobic and misogynistic idea in the NHS using public money. It's just unreal, okay? However, more than 18 months on, there are 10,000 of them in the drawer. I just can't. And apparently that's 4 in 10 of those ordered, right? 4 in 10. So they wasted about, somewhere in the region of, 12 grand on crap, right? Gender critical activists attacked what they claimed was a politically driven plan. Claimed? It is a politically driven plan. Bearing in mind that the NHS is a socialist state in its own right by this point. We need to do something about that. Anyway, women who express concerns about sharing wards with biological men. So the article goes into other bits and bobs. It's on MSN. You can find it if you search for it. Thousands of transgender inclusivity badges left unused in Scotland after staff snub scheme. I just can't. Staff snubs scheme. Oh, it's genius. Who wrote this? It's not R. Ewan, is it? No, it's Daniel Sanderson for The Telegraph. Seems to have a Ewan's flavour to it now. So, but what we do get is Trina, the director for Woodham, Scotland. It is astonishing that NHS Scotland partners with a group like Stonewall, which believes sex doesn't matter and ideology trumps biology. Given the pressures on the NHS asking staff, many of whom not understood the ethos behind it, to pledge to this ideology is absurd. It's no surprise that so many of these political badges are lying in the drawer somewhere. It's just extraordinary. You know, we'll look into the history of the progress flag, see some cross-dressing, closet wanker. Designed it. And what the NHS have said is, a spokesman for the Scottish Government claimed that demand for the badges has outstripped supply. Right? When the scheme was launched, and this new stock had been ordered to be distributed soon. She added, our health system is based on the core values of care, compassion, openness, honesty and dignity. And because that's got nothing to do with the progress flag, any of those things. Care, compassion, openness, honesty and dignity and respect. Are you serious? Right? And then it says of respect for everyone, irrespective of their individual identities. There you go. See? Respect. Horrible word. Horrible word. Tolerance. That's all you get. Right. The NHS Scotland Pride Badge encourages open and constructive conversations on difficult issues pertaining to ethnicity, age, sex and sexuality. Ethnicity, sex and sexuality. They are a swine, aren't they? Since when did the progress flag have anything to do with the pride flag have anything to do with race? It doesn't. That's why they put it in there. It's critical social justice. If you're wearing that badge, you are saying, I am a critical social justice warrior and I am going to refuse to engage with you. I've already made one person take it off. Ta-da! Not the badge. It was a lanyard because it wasn't in Scotland, but I made him take it off. This is how you do it, see? A little bit at a time. It's glorious, right? It's glorious. Great, I love it. I love it. They're getting a kick in. So they got a kick in on an individual level on that front, and they're getting a kick in on the group level on that front. I mean, you go for the collective, go for the individual, go for the whole damn thing. Right, so next thing is if you can buy me a coffee, buy me a coffee. If you can join my Substack, join my Substack. If you want to become a warrior teacher, news coming soon. And I've been emailed by lots of people with lots of things. And, I'm so sorry, folks. I'm now getting so many I can't engage with them all. So if you slip through the crack, I'm afraid that's just the way it is. I wish I could do it all, but I can't. I'm not in that situation. I don't have the resources to do it. And secondly, I've been asked to comment on something horrible that happened to a young man. I'm not going to comment on something horrible that happened to a young man. All I will say is this. Yesterday, there was more than one person that age killed. And over the past year, there's been far, far more than one person over that age killed. And I would ask, where are all the crowdfunding and the tributes to them? Anyway, it's horrible to watch because it isn't something that we often see for every young person that dies, be it in London, Scotland, Manchester, wherever it may be, which makes me think that the valorisation and all the weeping and the gnashing of teeth that's going on because of this is not because they are distraught about the death of a young person. It's because they are delighted at the birth of a martyr. Or maybe that's just me. Good luck, folks.